Hello everyone, I am Dr. K.N. Murthy. I will be speaking on the role of open source in digital India. I have selected the following agenda for this talk. Preamble, Digital Public Infrastructure, in short, DPI, Digital India Initiatives, DPI Push, Challenges associated with DPI, how do we measure the impact of open source, strengthening of DPI, the three pillars of DPI transformation, and closing note. Coming to the preamble, two primary licensing models in software development. The first one, the open source. Second one, the closed source. The main distinction between the two lies in their approach to code access and modification. Open source software code is freely available for anyone to view, modify, as well as distribute with an intent to promote the collaboration, transparency, and community involvement. Source code can be accessed and used by the general public with no restriction on the number of users. Coming to closed source software, code is proprietary to the original developer to modify and distribute it with the objective of intellectual property protection and control over the code base. Source code cannot be accessed and used by general public without paying licensing fee that changes with the number of users. Of course, both the closed source software and the open source software perform a wide variety of tasks, support a wide variety of applications, can work on multiple operating systems, and both are be developed as scalable and secured. Considering the cost benefits, the Government of India has decided on a policy to adopt and use the open source software for all its projects. The policy mandates that the government projects must be given to the open source software, and the closed source software must be an exception if open source software is not available. The policy has been formulated with the objectives such as providing a framework for rapid and effective adoption, ensuring strategic control over e-governance applications from a long-term perspective, reducing the total cost of ownership of the projects. If we look at the essence of open source, it is nothing but the collaboration-driven innovation through communities that drive technological advancements. There are 4 points that we need to consider. One, democratization, wherein anybody across the globe can participate and reduce the digital divide. Second, there is a scope for enhanced code quality because diversified thought often leads to enhanced code quality and security. Means the experts all over the globe participate in the initiative. The culture and revenue. Even the small setup businesses can also enter the market and use the open source software because it's freely available. The last one, it fosters ecosystem. Fostering a community of developers leads to a larger social good. Therefore, this is the essence of OSS. The digital public infrastructure. During the first 2 decades of 21st century, several reputed companies have been at the forefront of massive expansion in innovation and value creation. Was these dominated the global sphere in the areas of digital advertising, commerce, messaging, cloud infrastructure, social media, and mobile operating systems. Of course, India has adopted a unique digital path trajectory, a new approach in policy governance through the adoption of a digital public infrastructure, which is nothing but DPI. It's a set of digital systems that safely and efficiently deliver social services at scale. DPI acts as an open source platform which can be used for accessing the government and private services by building applications and products. DPI is used in digital forms of identification, verification, civil registration, money transactions, data exchange, and information systems. Public digital platforms are customizable, localizable, interoperable, and leverage public data for open innovation models. Digital India initiatives, there are several. I will try to mention a few. First one, Digit. Digit is the world's largest open source technology platform for public service delivery. Second, development of adaptive technologies. An open source voice enabled information system, retrieval system in multiple languages. SwarSuchak, which is referred to as SwarSuchak. Anuman is another open source on-screen predictive text entry system to aid people with motor disabilities. Third one, Meghdoot. Meghdoot is an indigenously developed cloud suite using free and open source softwares to offer cloud services. Bharat, fourth one, Bharat Operating System Solutions, indigenous operating system with the support for more than 15 languages, Indian languages. Of course, this a digital initiative in the form of Digiyata, where it's a mobile app that uses facial recognition to verify passengers at airports in India. There are also a few other initiatives wherein DPA movement is used in implementing applications such as JAM, which is the Jan accounts, where it links the Aadhaar, the mobiles, and the bank accounts. DigiLocker is another application where used for digital storage of documents. Bharat Bill Pay is a one-stop solution for multiple payments. There's CoWIN, which is used as a backbone during COVID period, which served as a, a platform for registration, appointment scheduling, identity verification, vaccination, certification of each vaccinated member. Coming to the DPA push, what the DPA is going to be used for. Government of India is pushing DPI to cover several domains such as health, mobility, travel, and skilling. But there are also challenges also with DPI. digital public infrastructure, which is a platform based on open source. Some of the challenges are privacy violations is one risk, data driven behavioral manipulation, identity theft, fraud, and exclusion from essential public services is one set of challenges. The other challenges are it also creates a new economic divide between regions and our countries that are leapfrogging ahead on digital public infrastructure approach versus the rest. Coming to the measurement of impact of open source. Is there any measure that we can use? Approximate theoretical proof is that John Nash, a famous mathematician who won the Nobel Prize in economics for his work on cooperative games, demonstrated that cooperating is not a zero sum game, but by working together, all participants may yield higher returns than the investment they make. Since whenever we work together, obviously there is benefit for everybody. Second, there's empirical proof as well. One empirical proof is the use of open source is successful at scale. The browsers, the web, and the cloud. The Mozilla Firefox browser has more than 150 million users. Similarly, machine learning and AI, about 15% of AI and machine learning users use Google's TensorFlow. It's open source. Similarly, operating systems, the number of Linux users is over 32.8 million, in addition to 1.6 billion Android users. It's a demonstration that the open source is being used at scale. Then open source is also has a moment, has a significant effect, wherein it's being promoted by lots of organizations. For example, the Google Summer of Code promotes on inducting new contributors to open source software. Neuromatch Academy is trying to facilitate global collaboration in computational sciences. Zerodha has announced a $1 million fund for free and open source software. This is a demonstration that is being promoted. Coming to strengthening of DPI. DPI may be strengthened in several ways. One, new tools of DPI can be developed in a secure and a standard format. New models of digital cooperation are also possible, wherein the countries can take strategic decisions with regard to choice, data portability, and interoperability. People-centric approach, where the open source or the DPI can be used on equity, good governance, regulatory frameworks to ensure no one is left behind. Fourth, encouraging local stakeholders, whereas the universities can work with the government in the implementation, the maintenance of DPI. Over the global cooperation is the last one, where the countries can work on improving, securing, and broadening the access to DPI through cooperation and usage to transform lives of people for larger public good. DPA transformation. The road to DPA transformation has three essential components. The first one, the technology component, which will drive the innovation and growth. Second, processes. The processes are nothing but streamlining for efficiency. The third is the people, where the backbone of transformation. Therefore, for any DPI transformation, technology, process, and people must work together or work in a way to transform the DPI. On a closing note, the government is also developing digital platforms like the National Digital Health Mission to streamline the healthcare. The government is also encouraging us in the form of establishing National Resource Center for free and open source software. This will promote the adoption of the free and open source software in the country. In summary, Digital India is an ambitious and a transformative initiative with the potential to reshape India's digital landscape. It has already made significant strides in improving the governance, education, healthcare, and financial inclusion. These are the references from which the information used in the presentation have been drawn. Also would like to make a disclaimer that the contents based on used in this presentation have been taken from various sources for the dissemination of information, and they are all thankfully and respectfully acknowledged wherever the sources are available or found. Otherwise, the concerned are requested to treat that it is deemed to have been acknowledged with regards. Thanks.